So what we do is at 4:15 we will start, since students are actually joining one by one now.
Yeah. No problem.
Yes. It's perfectly audible.
Okay.
It's audible. Yeah.
Suppose if one instrument fails, so that I'm just making plan B and C.
Backups.
1 minute. Yeah, backup.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure,
backup.
sure.
Is it okay now? Also?
Yes. It is fine.
Acha, this is also okay. Okay.
This is also fine. This is also fine, sir.
अरे वाह, ठीक है, very good. So any of you speak Bengali or what? No, of course not.
No, sir. I actually fumble sometimes in Hindi also.
Naturally, yeah.
Since I belong to Karnataka, that is central part of Karnataka, we rarely used to hear some Hindi words as well. So because of which, so we are more okay with Kannada or Telugu for that matter.
Yeah, of course.
Because neighboring state is Telugu. That is Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana both are they speak this language. So normally South Indians feel slightly difficult in managing Hindi.
I know. Yeah, of course.
But people from North, they feel how this guy is actually without Hindi.
They survive. So when they will go to South, they will realize that, how North Indian survive in a southern state like say Tamil Nadu or Karnataka without knowing either English or some local language,
Correct. So at the same time, we also learned Hindi. It was so difficult for us to learn the language and pass. At least if you get pass marks now, we're quite happy.
That like distinction. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yeah,
So only thing is we can read and understand, but when it comes to speaking, which is slightly.
I can't hear you. I think I've lost connection. Hope it is not from my side. Hello? Yeah, Hello? It is all right, now.
Yes.
I had lost you for a second. I thought maybe.
No, my internet connection was weak, unstable.
Yeah, no problem.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, it is okay.
So we have a broadband and everything. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't know what happens. And even if we go to this extreme south, like maybe Tamil Nadu, for that matter, it is difficult to survive. You should know only Tamil, otherwise it's difficult, sir. You must be knowing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I come to Mumbai, astonishingly many people speak Kannada there, since it's a bordering, it's shared with the
state.
bordering state, because of which Kannada is well versed. And any hotel we go, normally the Udupi people will be there as the hoteliers. So Kannada will be easy for us, at least in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Correct. So it is 4:17 now. So there are 104 attendees who are there right now. Director sir, shall we start with your permission, kind permission?
Yes, please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you
Namaste,
so much.
sir.
Namaste.
So before we start off, let us hear out a famous quote of Benjamin Graham about investing. The quote is, "The surest way to have more money and yet to be poorer over time is simply leave all the money in the risk-free assets such as a savings account and fixed deposit. Not taking any risk in investment is the biggest risk you can actually take." Good evening, one and all present here. Today, we all have gathered here for the webinar of Dr. Vijay Kedia on the topic Investing Journey of Mr. Vijay Kedia and the top 10 mistakes to avoid while investing in stock markets. So we are extremely honored and feel privileged to have Dr. Kedia for the webinar. I welcome Dr. Kedia on behalf of MDI Murshidabad. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I welcome Professor Dr. Atmanand, Director, MDI Murshidabad, for being present for this webinar. I welcome Dr. Biranchi Narayanaswar, Dean, Continuing Education, for the webinar. I also welcome all the professors, non-teaching staff, and my dear students of MDI Murshidabad to this webinar. I now proceed to introduce Professor Dr. Atmanand, Director, MDI Murshidabad. Professor Dr. Atmanand is a renowned economist, administrator, and academician, currently working as Director of MDI Murshidabad. He also worked as a Director Additional Charge of MDI Gurgaon. He was also the Independent Director of Central Bank of India, Steel Authority of India Limited, and PTC India Limited. Dr. Atmanand's experience in teaching, research, and consultancy is of more than 34 years. He is one of the longest serving deans of India. He has taken many new initiatives like the launch of MDI School of Energy Management, Journal of IMT Ghaziabad, and established MDI Murshidabad, to name a few. He has contributed various national responsibilities as member of State Finance Commission, Government of Bihar, Planning Commission, Government of India, and member of Adak Task Force, Cabinet Secretariat, Government of India, member of Review Committee, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, member of Advisory Committee, Ministry of Power, Government of India. Dr. Atmanand has authored 16 books and published more than 100 research papers in refereed national and international journals. He has undertaken several consulting assignments in the area of energy, insurance, infrastructure projects, social development, leadership, etc. He specializes in public enterprise management, management of energy and energy and environment, power, oil and gas, steel, financing infrastructure projects, project finance, economic and business environment, public policy and management. His contribution of many years has been recognized in the form of awards like Rashtriya Gaurav Award for his excellence and contribution in the national building, Indian Achievers Award for the Corporate Leadership 2010, Economic Development Award for Excellence in Higher Education 2011, Exemplary Global Leadership Award 2010, and appreciation letters from various departments like Ministry of Power, Government of India, and Steel Authority of India Limited. Professor Dr. Atmanand's vision statement is to have people around him who are thinkers and doers in one person. He spreads the policy of connect, nurture, and grow. I now request Director Sir to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Chetan. Dear participants and colleagues, good evening and warm welcome to you all. I'm pleased to welcome you all to the webinar talk series of MDI Murshidabad. I take this privilege to welcome our expert for today's webinar, Dr. Vijay Kedia, Director, Kedia Securities Private Limited. I congratulate Professor Chetan for organizing a webinar on such an important topic, namely investing journey of Mr. Vijay Kedia, Dr. Vijay Kedia, and top 10 mistakes to avoid while investing in the stock markets, which would definitely enrich our students to understand the nitty-gritty of investing in the stock market from our expert, Dr. Kedia, who is a market master, as rightly described by the Economic Times. Sir, MDIM vision is to be an internationally excellent business school known for our academic ambition and influence in building a responsible future for both business and society globally. We are highly focused to create an ethical and knowledge-centric culture that values outstanding academic excellence, training, research, consultancy. Dear participants, investing in the stock market is considered to be an enigma for many of you. Many face challenges in choosing the right stock at the right time for the investment purpose. Like you all, I am also eagerly waiting to listen from our today's expert on his investment journey in details. I'm sure that his lecture would definitely help us in understanding the nitty-gritty of the stock market and take a right decision. Welcome, Dr. Vijay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I now request Professor Biranchi Narayaneswar, Dean Continuing Education, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Dr. Chetan. And good afternoon, Mr. Vijay Kedia.
Good afternoon, sir.
So at the outset, it is a great privilege at MDIM Murshidabad to welcome you, and also coming here virtually to address our students, because this is just like a hot cake nowadays. Everybody try to jump into the market and try to invest, and you are just a exemplary in this respective area who has created a lot of instances. You have seen the road and how the road goes, and at the same time you can guide our students in terms of when to go straight, when to take a year, where not to invest, where to invest, because the people are much crazy about this kind of activity nowadays which are happening in the stock market. So I think this will be a great learning for all of our students at this point in time, right? And under the motivation of our director, sir, Professor Dr. Atmanand, it is our endeavor to organize such kind of event every now and then, and we keep on doing that. So as a part of that, I once again welcome you to this virtual platform to address our students, and I hope and wish for an interactive learning with our students as well. So thank you so much, and nice for coming and eagerly waiting to listen to you also as a faculty. And over to Dr. Chetan. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Biranchi. Now I proceed to introduce our today's guest, Dr. Vijay Kedia, to the gathering. So Dr. Vijay Kedia, MD of Kedia Securities Private Limited, is a private investor in the stock market with experience of more than 3 decades. Dr. Kedia, a commerce graduate, born and brought up in Kolkata, joined the stock market with zero capital. He has identified many multi-baggers in his investing career. Some of his investments have appreciated 100 times in the last 10 to 15 years. He is the largest shareholder in more than 15 BSE and NSE listed companies after the promoters. In 2016, Dr. Kedia was conferred with honorary doctorate degree. He was also ranked 13th on the Business World list of successful investors of India. He has been described by the Economic Times as market master. Dr. Kedia has been a keynote speaker in institutes such as SP Jain Institute of Management Studies, Wellington Institute of Management, BITS Pilani, St. Xavier's College, the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, CFA Institute, IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, London School of Business, TEDx IIM Amritsar, and TEDx DSB International School. To educate new and small investors, he has written and sung over 8 songs that highlights the essence of stock market in simple language and uploaded them on YouTube. He is also active on Twitter. So the stock market is a very attractive space for investors to earn potentially handsome returns. So however, as we also know that the stock market investing is equally risky, it can be lucrative investment avenue that can help us grow our money and create a sufficient purpose to meet our financial goals. Nevertheless, stock market investment requires little research and knowledge gaining as well. We need to understand the rules of the game before we venture into anything. Indian markets marched to a new lifetime highs and equity markets worldwide remained optimistic, which further bolstered confidence for our indices to continue upwards. With the benchmark index Nifty 50 closing above 16,000 mark, the question still remains, what next? Is it still the right time to invest in Indian equity markets? If yes, what are the right sectors to park our funds? To address all these questions, we have with us today Dr. Vijay Kedia, the legendary investor of Indian stock market, to take all of us through the various doubts which we have by and large. I hereby request Dr. Kedia to take over the stage. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chetan. And first of all, I would like to convey my regards to Dr. Professor Atman and Professor Swar. Sir, please, my respect to you. And thank you, Dr. Chetan, for inviting me and giving me this beautiful platform. I am a little weak in my English, so please pardon me for that. Okay, now let me give you a brief about my journey so far since my childhood into Indian stock market. When I was in class 10, just 3-4 months before the examination, my father, who was 40 and I was 14, he passed away. And as I said that after 3-4 months, I have to appear for the examinations. I appeared, but I failed in class 10. So literally, I can say that my education future was over from there. But one of my relatives, he approached the headmaster of the school. I have studied in a Hindi medium, and requested him to give me another chance because of the circumstances. So he was very kindful and he gave me another chance to pass, and somehow I passed. But after that, I was no more interested into study. I can tell you that we were 6 people living in one room, and 21 or 22 people were sharing one toilet. So you can understand the situation at home. So the most important thing for me at that point of time was to stand on my feet. My mother took me to an astrologer to ask about my future of education, and all. Astrologer told her, don't worry, he's going to attain the biggest university of India. But somehow it did not happen, and somehow I passed my BCom. Just that also because I wanted, because otherwise nobody would have given me their daughter to marry. So as I said that I realized the necessity of standing on my feet. So, and I realized that I discovered my passion for the stock market, because the stock market was the only thing, and that point of time, I'm talking about trading, was the only thing which you can do without having a proper knowledge, without having a proper experience, or without any guidance, because it was like a satta, we call it. It was like a gambling, and trading is still like a gambling only. So this is what, when I turned 19, I somehow get into the stock market. I started going to the stock market and I started doing trading. And of course, without knowledge, without proper guidance, without any books, because that point of time, there was not many books were written. And even if they were written, they were not available. And even if they were available, they were not within my reach to buy them. And of course, there was no internet, no TV, no platform like what you have provided today to interact with the investors and all new investors, upcoming investors. There was no such things at that point of time. So it was only trial and error. So I entered the market, and as beginner's luck played out, and I was really successful. And successful in the sense, of course, at that point of time, if I could really meet up my family expenses, monthly expenses, that was I used to say successful. So this is in that way I was really successful, and I thought that maybe I am invincible, and now I'm very soon I'm going to become a crorepati, and this was the dream I had always throughout my life. So, but finally the beginner's luck ran out, and I started losing my money in trading. And I remember there was one time where I had a huge loss from that time perspective. I think it was 25,000 rupees or something. So the situation had come to this situation, had to this stage where I had to sell my mother's jewelry, that my mother had to offer her jewelry to sell so that I can pay off my losses in the market. I prayed to God and I told God, please save me this time. This is the biggest sin I would commit in my life, that I would sell my mother's jewelry. So please save me. I will leave stock market. So luckily, God listened to me, and in next 2-3 days time, I recovered whatever money I have lost, and I left the market for some time. But finally, it was like you can't. It was like soul and your body. So I couldn't remain away from my body, you can say, or my soul, whatever you call it. So after a few days, I came back and I said, God, please excuse me. Forgive me, because I cannot live without stock market. This is in my love, sweat and tears and smile and sorrows and everything. So please give me another chance. And I joined stock market again. So after that, since I was aging, so mother wanted me to get married, but nobody was willing to give any daughter to me, because they thought maybe one day I will build the house, next day I will destroy the house. There is no financial stability. But luckily or unfortunately, meaning for the girl, or fortunately for me, a girl agreed to marry me, and I got married. But my situation was same, literally hand to mouth. And as I said that I was aging, so I had a baby also after 1 year. And there was one time which I remember when I did not have even 14 rupees to buy a milk box for my Lactodex milk box for my baby. So, but things were continuing, things were going on. I had this hope that one day I will really make it big. I don't know. God had, that point of time, God had given me nothing but this courage, and this hope was always there. I never lost hope that I will certainly make it big in stock market. And during that time, I remember one of my closest friend, my childhood friend, he did some transaction with me, and he lost money and he did not pay me money. Then I had to sell some my silver utensils, silver things and all a little bit. I had to sell and pay off in the market. So that was again another big jolt for me. And since I had some spare time, so I started supplying raw material into tea companies in and around Kolkata, in Assam and Kolkata and all. And things were continue. So like this, after 10 years, one day I realized this is not the life actually I had wanted. And I never wanted to live this kind of life. So I must be doing something wrong, something which is not, I'm not cut out for. So I should, I should think about it. Then I realized that maybe this trading thing is not fit for me. And I changed my track from there. And I started focusing on investment. But let me tell you that on that point of time, very less people were interested into investing. Every 99% people were interested into trading only to make quick money. And that was the reason that 99% people fail in the market. So I changed my track, and I started learning, and I started reading magazines, reading about the company, about the company's balance sheet and all, although I was not qualified enough for that. But somehow whatever little bit knowledge I had, I started learning. And the biggest thing I think I did that I started observing people, mainly in Bombay, because Bombay was the Makkah of investment and stock market. So I started reading about people, successful people and investors in Mumbai. and observing them and trying to learn their tricks. So I remember after 10 years, as I said, that whatever, at one point of time, whatever little bit money I had saved, maybe 25,000-30,000 rupees I had saved, I discovered one share, and that entire money I invested in that company. And after a few months, I saved another, I made 35,000 rupees. So with that 35,000 rupees and this particular share, with the help of one of my friends, and in my third attempt, I came to Mumbai and started living in a PG here. So here, things had really changed. The stock which I had bought in Kolkata by then had gone up by 3, 4, or 5 times. So, and here also I joined one library, and I can tell you that 24/7 my job was only to think about stock market, to think about companies, and to read about their balance sheet and their annual report, and whatever information I could get on magazines and all. Although that time not many magazines were available, but whatever few magazines were available, and I joined the library, as I said, and I started reading about them. So this is how I started upgrading myself, I would say, or educating myself. So during that period, I identify another script, and this another company which I had bought from Kolkata, as I said, had gone up 4 or 5 times. I sold that share and invested into that company. And God had been kind, and that stock went up 10 times in a span of maybe 1.5 years or something. So that was the first moonshot of my life. And that gave me another confidence to study more and to find out and identify more companies. So then I was full-fledged into this investing and all. And after that, I discovered many companies which went up 5 times, 2 times, 3 times over the years, over 5 years, 6 years. Then the biggest scam in Indian history, capital market history, broke out. 2 scams. So I survived 2 scams, and so many booms and busts. I survived. And of course, in every boom or bust, my capital also would come down drastically. But I must have lost capital, but I never lost my hope or my confidence. In around 2003 to 5, somehow I discovered 3 stocks, and whatever money again I had that point of time, I took risk and invested in those 3 companies. And during next 15 years, 10 to 15, 12 to 15 years, they went up by 100 times. And I still hold 2 of those shares. Of course, lesser quantity. I sold many shares, but I still hold 2 companies, and I sold one. And during that period, I bought, a stake in a milk company, dairy company, and I gifted those shares to my wife in lieu of the 14 rupees that we could not arrange at that point of time. And during that time, around 2009-10, I realized that one tea company in Kolkata is up for sale. So I found out, and I realized this is the same company where I used to supply spare parts. I bought that tea garden also. And around 2016, and university accredited me with honorable doctorate degree. And after that, as you had described, that I had been to many business school of India. So that was, I think, this is what I think astrologer must have meant, and told my mother that he's going to attain the biggest universities of India. So maybe he must have meant this. So now again, university, this MDI Murshidabad, this university, I am here. So this is the short journey of my life. And now I would like to share you some of the points, as you have mentioned. 1 minute. So now let me tell you that over the years, over this journey of my stock market, I realized that what are the do's and don'ts, mainly for the new investors and small investors who come into the market, but they don't understand the nitty-gritty. They don't know what they should do, what they shouldn't do. Because 99% people coming here and invest in market they never study about investing, and they don't want to learn also. This is what my experience is. and they stayed away from their drawing room, from their bedroom, or from their classroom. They just want to get into trading and make money. But let me tell you, this does not happen. Success rate in stock market is not more than 1%. Or maybe in trading, success rate is not more than 1%. In investing, success rate may be 10%, but not beyond that, until unless you are investing through mutual fund. So, but people think that mutual fund don't appreciate much, and that is why they indulge into direct investing, which is more dangerous. So my advice to all these newcomers is that they should start investing in the stock market. They should start investing immediately, but they should start investing through mutual fund. Because if you don't know how to drive a car, you shouldn't drive a car. And stock market investing is not like driving a car, it is like flying a plane, you know. So it is better to be left to the pilot who had taken proper training, and you just sit back and relax. But people don't listen. They get tempted. So I have written few quotes for you. No academic degree can get you success in stock market. If you think that you are an MBA, you are a chartered accountant or Harvard graduated, and you think that is a birthright to be successful in stock market, so let me tell you, it's a myth. On the contrary, you are more prone to failing in the stock market because of your overconfidence. Because of course, education helps. Unfortunately, I couldn't have higher education. But please remember, as I had said just a few minutes back, that if you are a Harvard graduated, do you think you can fly a plane? You cannot fly a plane. For that, you have to learn flying, right? And that also, after learning flying, you have to travel as a co-pilot. Then step by step, you get experience, and then you are allowed to fly a plane solo. This is the same thing happens in the market. Education gives you a thought process, but it doesn't teach you how to invest in the stock market. So that is why I had written this, that no academic degree can get you success. So please don't be in this myth that you can make money in the stock market. Even taking formal learning, principles of investing, and without having proper experience. Second thing, which is also very important, I feel, is that the desire to become a crorepati overnight is always the root cause of failure in stock market. Because whenever anybody comes into the stock market, they think they have a dream. So let me tell you, this dream doesn't come true overnight. Okay, dreams comes at night and goes away at the same time. So don't think it's a dream, you know. So that if you will have that kind of intention that you want to become a crorepati faster, then you will do mistakes and you will forget what are the do's and don'ts. Treat it as a business. Don't treat it as a gambling den. Stock market will reward you as per your perception. If you will treat it as a gambling den, it will prove a gamble for you. If you will treat it as a business, it will prove a business for you. As Dr. Chetan has quoted one quote of John Graham, I think. So there is one quote of mine also, that risk is not knowing the risk in the risk. So please remember, it's a very risky business. And there is no chance that you can get crorepati overnight or in 2 years or 3 years. It does not happen. Just compare it with your investments or your parents' investment in gold or in fixed deposit or in real estate or in bond or whatever. You compare that, if you are getting 10, 12% CAGR kind of return in the stock market, that is also, if you compound that return, that is huge compared to other asset class. So use stock market as a asset class. Another quote is, you learn to walk only by falling. Don't be afraid of falling. Just know why you fail. Stock market will give you many shocks. There is not a straight line. You will rise and you will fall. I must have fallen millions of times in my life. Every day I used to rise and every day I used to fall, you know. But only thing, as I said earlier, only thing I had in my mind was the confidence that I will do well. And there was one more thing. I had no option. I had no plan B, you know. So sometimes when you don't have plan B in your life, that helps you also. When you have plan B, then you can't give your 100% to any commitment because you have plan B. So I don't know, generally in business school or in some other walk of life, people teach us that you should have a plan B, plan C. Maybe that formula applies somewhere else, but here it helped me at least because I did not have plan B. When I came to Mumbai, I realized that I don't have a backman. Nobody is there to back me. Where will I go if I fail here? There is only ocean to go forward. There is no backward going, you know. So don't be afraid of falling in a stock market, you know, because there is a quote of mine that when we are right, we earn. When we are wrong, we learn. And we only learn when we are wrong. We only learn when we fail or we fall. So that is why don't only thing you should understand and that how to balance your risk. If you will learn how to balance your risk, then you will not be afraid of falling into life or into a stock market. So you need to have a balance. Another quote of mine, don't learn literature from history teacher who can understand better than you this quote. So this I have written in the context of stock market, that don't depend on tips, don't depend on your uncle's, or your anybody, your friend's father who is into a chemical business, and just because he's investing in the market, just don't take a tip from him and invest in the stock market, because you should always learn literature from literature teacher only, not from history teacher. So the main idea is to create a foundation here in stock market, not to be dependent on the tips of the person who is an investor, because when he will go wrong, you don't know that how many times he has gone wrong, he or she has gone wrong. You have to win your own battle, so don't be dependent on somebody else, because entire life otherwise you will be dependent. So don't work on tips, don't invest on tips, find your own thing. It may take time, but it will create a good foundation for you. Another quote is, trading is injurious to health. Trading is injurious to your health and wealth. If you are smoking, you may die in 20, 30 years. But if you are trading, you may die next day. This is my quote. And here trading means future and options. History suggests, as I said in my earlier remarks, that history suggests that success rate in trading is below 1%. Just imagine below 1%. That means 99% people indulging into trading are losing money in the market. And just 1% of the traders are taking away all that profits. And beyond that 1%, you have got 4 or 5 partners in trading. Please remember that. The moment you punch a trade, you are sharing your brokerage to the broker. Then your CV charges, stock exchange charges, transaction cost, service tax, so many things you are paying. Whether you are losing money or you are making money, you have to pay those charges. So you have got 4 or 5 sleeping partners. Okay. Another quote is, stock market is like cricket. There are 5 days, there are 1 day, there are 2020. Know yourself. So there is a quote of mine in context with this quote, is that KYS is more important than KYC. As you know, when you go to open a trading account with a broker, they will ask you to fill up KYC, know your client form. I tell people, before filling KYC, you should fill KYS, know yourself. Write down on a piece of paper that what are you here for? Because let me tell you, as I said, there are 5 days, there are 1 day, and there are 2020, T20. That Rahul Dravid, which is a veteran, a legend of test match, may not play well if he has to play T20. Similarly, Virat Kohli is a master in T20 or 1 day. If asked to play a test match, maybe he may not do well. So that is why it is very important to ask yourself, what are you here for? Are you here for a test match, which is I describe as long term? Can you hold his shares and stay invested for 5 years or 10 years? Or you are here for a 1 day match, like to hold for 6 months or 1 year or 2 years? Or you are here for a T20, like for trading, or buying today, selling next week, buying today, sell tomorrow. So those things also happen in the market. So It depends on you. So first, people don't understand. People don't spend time in understanding their own mind, their own character, that what they are really fit for. So because if you are holding a stock or playing a test match, the biggest thing you need is patience. Like you have to stay on the crease maybe for 5 hours, for 4 hours. Took one run, no need to hit 4 and 6s. No, there's a different pattern, different strategy. Ask yourself, are you that patient or not? Or if you are playing like a T20, then you have to make a run on every ball. If you are a patient player, then you are not cut out for T20. Then you have to make hit or hit out or get out. You have to have that kind of attitude on the crease. So that depends on you. Are you ready to play that kind of? Because there are many people, the moment they indulge into trading or short-term, kind of investment and all, they feel anxiety. They can't take it because it's a stressed business. So that is why it is very important to know yourself first. Write down on a paper that what are you here for? What are your plan? Another quote is, I have realized one thing in my life: the only way to create wealth in the market is by thinking long term. That is the single most mantra, that if you want to create wealth in the market, you have to think long term. That is the only way to create wealth. Making money is different. Creating wealth, I'm talking about. And the quote is, chase the story behind the stock, not the money on the table. Money will make you rich, but story will make you wealthy. It's as simple as the quote itself is, that if you are convinced with the story, because usually a story in a stock plays out maybe for 10 years, for 15 years, for 5 years, so you have to understand that story. And once you enter into that story, then you shouldn't sell your stocks in maybe 10% or 15%. Then you follow the story. As long as the story is intact, you should stay in the market. So that is, I think, most important way. This is what I have done, in my life, and it has worked for me. So that is why I have converted it into a quote and presenting to you. Another quote is mine. 3 qualities. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Audible? Sorry. Anybody can reply me?
Yes, you're audible, sir, visible.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. So another quote is 3 qualities of good investors: knowledge, courage, and patience. Remember one thing, that let me describe this. Knowledge to identify a good script. As I said, chase the story behind the stock. So you should have that knowledge to identify such story in your life. Okay. A quote, remember that Bharti Airtel and an idea can change your life. There is a quote of one telecom company. In a stock market, this happens. An idea, one single most idea can change your life. You should know how to play well with that idea. Anyway, that is a separate thing. So knowledge to identify one story, one good story, and stay invested in that story. So knowledge for identify good script. Courage means, suppose you have identify one opportunity, one script, one investment, then you should have courage to buy in a bigger quantity. I've seen many wealthy people, they are suppose having 1 lakh rupees as investable surplus to invest in the market. But you share some story to them, they will buy 100 rupees. They will buy shares worth 100 rupees out of their 1 lakh rupees of corpus, or maybe they will buy 1,000 rupees. So 1,000 rupees, and you are having 1 lakh and investing 1,000 rupees. That is just 1%. If that 1% becomes 5 times also, it is not going to add any value to your entire portfolio. So that is why you should have courage to buy at least worth 10,000 rupees of that shares, or 5,000 rupees, or maybe 15,000 rupees. This is what the kind of attitude you will have. So that would happen if your knowledge is perfect, right? Then you will have that kind of courage. But people, even having the knowledge, don't have that courage to invest big, because they're always fearful. As I said, risk is not knowing the risk in the risk. If you are deploying 10% of your portfolio, And even that 10%, suppose you lose money, it may become 8% at one point of time, because stock market, listens to no one, and there is no fixed thing here in stock market. So that courage is very important. That courage comes with time. It will not come overnight. More, as I said, that the more you will, when you lose money, then you only learn. It comes with your age. It comes with your experience. But you should have that kind of attitude that ultimately I have to invest big sum, whatever money you have. Compared to that, in that relation, you should have a bigger, invest into the company. And third, patience. As I said, that it's a game of patience. 5 days you are playing. It's a game of patience. I had bought some shares during 2003, 4, 5, and by 2007, all those stocks had gone up 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And in 2008, after this Lehman Brothers crisis broke out, all the stocks had gone down to my cost level. One stock had gone down below my cost level. But I had confidence in Indian economy and in my companies. I did not sell any shares. And after that, between 2008 and 14, they went up 100 times. So actually, or maybe some shares went up in 16, by 16. So literally one share became 100 times in maybe 5 years. Another share maybe in 8 years, something like this, So that's, I calculated from my initial investment, but it happened in 5-7 years. So this is the kind of return stock market can give you if your knowledge is right, if your that is right. So for that you need patience, as I said. Then only you can create wealth. Another quote of mine is 3 qualities of good promoter. 3 qualities of good promoter. Now, where would you invest with good promoter? I had said very many times, during my other speeches, that 3 things are required in a stock market, in a company: management. Because management is one of the most important issue one should always remember in investing. A bad management in a good company is better than a bad management in a good company, or let me rephrase it. A good management in a bad company, a good management in bad company is better than a bad management. No, sorry. A good management is bad company is better than a bad management in good company. Because if management is bad, he will spoil that good company. And if management is good, he will revive that bad company. So the 3 qualities of good promoter: honest, hungry, and smart. This is what you should always look before investing. The management has to be honest. They should work for the sake of the company, not for himself, just siphoning out money from the company or spending their personal things and all. That honesty is very important, because if founder will not become a billionaire, you investor cannot become a billionaire. So for that, to judge how the management is, you have to go through the track record. You should scrutiny the track record of the company for last 15-20 years. That in last 15-20 years, how the companies fared well, how did they do whenever there was an upcycle in the economy, how fast they grew, and whenever there was a slowdown in the economy, how slow they fell. Right. So all these things you have to understand. Plus, you have to see their corporate governance for last 15-20 years. And whenever they had come out with some prediction or some projections or some plan, or they shared their plan, future plan in the past, have they fulfilled those plan or not? So all these things will give you a fair idea about the pedigree of the credibility of the promoter. And of course, if you discuss in the market, also gives you some time, that how a promoter is. You can also get to know about the pedigree of the promoters from vendors, from their suppliers, and from the market grapevine also. So you have to be sure about investing in a company that honest promoter is a must. And hungry. This is also very important. Promoter is hungry, but a promoter is honest, but he's not hungry. He doesn't want to grow much, maybe because of his age, or maybe it's because of his previous struggle in the life, or maybe because he doesn't have children, for example. There could be various reasons that a promoter lose its appetite going forward. If 100 crore company become 500 crore company, 700 crore company. At many companies, they lose their appetite to grow. They think, oh my God, I have done enough in my life. I started with one shop, or maybe one shop, just one tool. Now I am having 10 assembly line. I am having 500, 1,000 staff. I am having my bungalow, I am having my Mercedes, I'm a club, I've got a club membership, I've got some money in the bank also. I don't want to grow. Why should I take trouble? Why should I get blood pressure and diabetes and all those things? So that hungerness, if that hunger is not there, then we will not create wealth in that company, because that hunger should always be, that fire in the belly should always be there in the management, that they want to become from regional to national, national to global, or something like this. So that also you should know, that you get to know about the plan, because every company releases their plan periodically. Okay, what they're expanding and what they're diversifying and what is their plan and all that. Nowadays, many good companies, majority of good companies are organizing all these, con calls, analyst meets and all these things, and the transcripts are posted on stock exchanges also very next day. So nowadays you get all the information and all these things free, so you are in a better advantage currently. So that hunger is very important. And third thing is smart, because smart, how to deal with demonetization, how to deal with circumstances like this COVID broke out. So how a company will still survive, because all these things keep on happening every year. Every year, some kind of things will happen in some form of another. So a smart management know how to deal with these kind of situation, union strike, maybe Forex ups and downs, interest rate hike, interest rate down, government policy changes. And there's thousands of things which actually affect the working of a company. The management has to be smart enough to sail through those kind of crisis situation. And this smartness comes with age. This smartness comes with time. It doesn't come. That is why I usually don't invest in a company which is 4 years old or 5 years old, because I think that promoter or the founder of the company has not fallen enough, has not seen enough crisis in his life to take the company to another level. So that is why I usually invest in a company which is 15, 20 years old. Another quote of mine, I think I'm not running out of time. I don't know how time it is. You can ask me to stop anytime.
Yes, there are 20 plus questions which are there from the students, from the attendees. Maybe we'll take up once you finish off this next quote.
So only 3 quotes are there. I will finish them faster.
Sure.
And regret is a lifestyle disease of investing. As I said earlier also, that every point of time in the stock market, you will have this regret, that why did I buy the shares? You will buy the shares and stock price will fall. You will feel that why did I buy? I shouldn't have bought. I should have waited. That regret will always there. And suppose you buy and stock price goes up, you will have another regret, that why did I buy 500 shares? Why didn't I buy 1,000 shares? So that regret will always there. You should get out of those kind of regrets, because it's a lifestyle disease. And another is, don't be dependent on stock market income for your daily needs. So I call it no gravity zone. So this is what one should always remember, that you shouldn't be dependent on the stock market income. There is no harm, because first thing is, there is no fixed thing, nothing called fixed income here in stock market. Maybe stock will not perform for 24 months, and suddenly in the 25th and 26th month, they will multiply 4 times, 5 times, or maybe 6 times. So if you will have that kind of that need of siphoning out money from the market, being dependent on the income of a stock market, you will sell them early and you will not be able to create wealth. And the last, my quote is, which I had quoted in IIM Bangalore also, luck, plays a very important role here. So do good karma. I think luck is, somebody had asked me in one of my interviews that how much luck has played a role in your life. I said 150%. Why 150%? Because 50% margin for my stupidity, the mistakes which I did in the market. And even after that, I'm little bit successful here in the market. So that 50% goes there. That doesn't mean minor. So luck plays very important role. So do good karma, be a good human being, respect your teachers, respect your gurus, respect your parents, and be humble, and be a nice man, be a kind-hearted man. That is very important, I think, to be successful here in the stock market. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kedia. So we have a couple of questions, so we'll run through them, and let's see. So this is from Joy Datta. So I have been following your interviews for many years, and I know for the fact that you don't consider ROC, ROE much, rather than management quality is your first priority. So it would be great if you take us through the process about how to how do you judge management quality and their efficiency?
So you rightly
What do you say?
said that I don't go much about ROC and ROC. Of course, they are very important parameters. I look at them. But when I buy those shares, let me tell you, because those are from the past, whatever ROC, ROCE, whatever EPS, whatever parameters, financial parameters you are going through today are actually the reflection of the past. They are not giving you any idea about the future. So what I am trying to do is not necessary that every time I try to catch them young. There is a phrase, catch them young. So this is every time my mind is always there, how to catch a stock at its young, when it's young. This is what I am doing. And since you have asked, as you know, that there is a principle of mine, SMILE, small in size, medium in experience, large in aspiration, extra large market potential. I invest in a small companies. I invest in a company which has medium in experience, means 15, 20 years of experience. I invest in a company which is large in aspiration. As I said, that they should have fire in the belly. They shouldn't feel that 500 crore turnover and now they are off, they are going to retire. And I invest in the company which is extra large market potential. In simple terms, that I like to invest in the company which is a fish in the ocean, not a crocodile in the pond. Because if you are a crocodile in the pond, you will be killed, because you can't grow. But you are in the fish in the ocean, that you can grow the entire, you can travel the entire ocean. So this is how I realized that if a product of the company, suppose a company is sitting at a 1,000 crore turnover, but the market size of that product is 50,000 crore, right? Or 1 lakh crore, or let's say 5,000 crore, then it has got miles to go, So this is how I select stock. And with other parameters, management pedigree and everything, and hunger, smart, and everything, whatever I have said, and plus the future growth. So to me, most important thing is future growth. Forget today company may be losing. Zomato is losing only, but price is because of the future growth, So this is how I identify it.
Thank you, sir. There is one more question from Avish. When the market crashes, so how is it you're going to manage that particular mental trauma? Because you know that your stock is right now just 10 times. The moment market crashes, you're actually there. Your stock is actually trading lesser than the cost price. So how is it you're going to manage that traumatic experience? Can you please share with us?
Yeah, how do I manage in the sense, let me tell you, there is a quote of mine that your investment belongs to the market and your profit belongs to you. Okay, so I am following this principle that whatever money I have invested in the market, that does not belong to me. It is something like that money belongs to Chintan, for example. So if money belongs to Chintan, like Dr. Chintan, I'm talking about you, suppose like you are the market and money belongs to you. So I don't calculate that money, that I am worth this much, that I am worth this much. Once you start calculating, okay, my God, I am worth 1 crore of rupees, just looking at your demat statement, then that stock price goes down, you will have that kind of trauma. When you don't think that money is yours, then what is the trauma? And this is what, it does not happen in one day. Let me tell you, I have practiced this thing throughout my life. As I said, that I must have risen millions of times and fallen millions of times. So there I realized, that is why, remember the word, I use the word no gravity zone. That don't be dependent on the stock market income. So whatever money I have invested in the market, I don't increase my pocket expenses looking at my demat statement. That just because I have got a paper profit, I will buy one TV, or I will buy one car, or I will do this, I'll buy a shirt. No, I will not buy even a chocolate. Just thinking that today I am making 5 crore rupees in my demat statement, I will not spend even 1 rupee extra. Whatever my lifestyle is there, it will remain there till I book my profit. So, and second thing, as I said, remember I said that your vision, I'm playing a test match. I'm playing a 5-day test match. In 5-day test match, let me tell you, like suppose if I am making 50 runs in 1 hour, which is huge, maybe from 5-day test match point of view. So, and after maybe in next 1 hour, I'm not making any run. So I have to see the average, in 2 hours, how did I fare? So the simple process is this, that you have to stay calm. For that, you need to do yoga. For that, you need to do meditation. It has got nothing to do with religion and all. It's a scientific thing. It had helped me, let me tell you, it helps me. And what Gita has taught me, that whatever I am following those things, that money doesn't belong to me. So this is, I think, one thing which keeps me going.
So the spirituality and stock market go hand in hand, the profits in stock markets.
Yes, I think.
Absolutely. Thank you. So what is your comment on bull market should not be misunderstood with the intelligence. What would you like to say regarding this?
No, of course, that everybody is a genius in a bull market. So this is what there is a quote, a famous quote, that everybody is genius in a bull market. So bull market is something like this. Let me tell you, like suppose if a train is going from on a platform you are standing, and train starts moving from north to say south, and you push the train, so you will realize or you will feel that you are pushing the train. So this is the kind of feeling a bull market gives to an investor. The moment they think, you don't have to buy any shares in a bull market. You just have to think and stock price will rise. Most of the time, most of the people have this regret in the market. Oh my God, yesterday I thought I should buy these shares. I did not buy. Today the stock price has gone up. So because you are pushing a going train. So if you push the train from opposite direction, then you will realize. So very difficult to make money in a bear market. And bull and bear market like night, days and nights. So whatever you are getting, there is another quote of mine. I would request everybody to go on Twitter and or Google, read my quotes. There is a quote another of mine on this. I am forgetting now. The quote is regarding this bull market and bear market. So this is what I want to say in this reference. Then the quote is this: if you are making money in this market, if you think that you are making money in this market because of your skill, then you are misleading yourself. You are not making money in this market because of your skill. Please remember this thing.
Okay. So there is one more question. So from Devasis Gupta, what were the 3 stocks which gave you maximum return in your initial days?
3 stocks now, so that's a story of past, and yeah.
Okay.
But initially,
so
I will
Logistics, Atul Auto, I guess.
I will name the shares. Yeah. Aegis Logistics, Cera Sanitaryware, and Atul Auto. They gave me 100 times, more than 100 times return. Aegis Logistics went up 250 times or something, but I sold early. Cera and went up 100 times. I sold them also, holding a token of shares as a souvenir.
Okay. All right. So we have a question from Shubham Bhattacharya. Sir, most of us have read Intelligent Investor or One Up on Wall Street. But sir, which book impacted you most?
Sorry, I did not understand.
Which book have impacted you more? Because we normally read The Intelligent Investor and One Up on Wall Street. All these books we normally read. So for you, which book is inspirational? Which book really made some sort of impact on your life?
So now you have touched my weak point. Actually, I am on the platform of MDI Murshidabad, and I have to confess that if you will notice that in my previous remarks, I have always used the words magazines. I did not use the word book. So unfortunately, I did not read any book on investing. So I'm feeling, in front of you, learned guys, that I have to say that I did not.
No, sir, your life itself is a very big book for us. It's inspirational for us. So I think because of which you never needed a book, maybe. So we got the answer. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but I read a lot of magazines, all magazines related to investment and all. Just Business India, Capital Market, Dalal in those times. I used to read all magazines I can lay my hand on, and plus observing people, I got to that. Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is from Shubh Taneja. Sir, the market is currently at an all-time high and extremely volatile. And what would be the best way to predict the future of any stock and the best strategy to invest right now?
No, there is no way you can predict stock market. There is no way you can predict stock price movement. Let me tell you, I will give you a feel of it. First of all, remember this thing: whenever you invest in the market, you should have that notion in your mind that your stock price may fall 25% from here, anytime, any day, or any week, or within a month time. You should always be prepared for that. If you are not prepared for that, please do not invest. And it does not happen only in the bull market. It happens in the bear market also. Even the stock price had gone up from 100 rupees to 70 rupees, for example, in a bear market. From 70 rupees also, it can go down to 50 rupees. So that it's a risky business, as I said that. So please don't predict, always prepare for the worst, that you buy the shares and stock price may go down by 25%. That is why you have to have it, you have to play a test match. That even if stock price goes down, are you comfortable in holding the stock at that point or not? at that level or not. Like suppose if you have this idea, you buy a share at 100 rupees today, and this heated market, and if stock price will go down 80 rupees, you will sell. Then I think in that case, you shouldn't invest at all in this market. The stock market at its all-time high, and prices are also, some stocks had gone up 10 times in the span of 12 months, 14, 15 months. So it depends that which stock are you talking about. So be careful. Only invest in the market when you are ready to see that 25-30% fall and ready to hold the shares for 4 years or 5 years. Then you should invest in the market. Second thing I would like to tell you, please remember, you are not investing into the market. You are not investing in a stock market. You are investing in the script. You are investing in a company. When a stock market falls, you think the fortune of your company is going to change when the stock price of that company falls in the stock market. You have to ask this question first. Do you think that company plan its expansion or create its policies looking at the stock market in mind? Then don't invest in those companies. Companies go on, move on their own plan with their own things and all pattern with all their policies and all. So you have to separate those two things. It is difficult for a newcomer. It won't be possible to separate those things. That is why you should start investing through mutual fund and observe the market for 2-3 years to understand all this nitty-gritty. And unless you see one cycle, one bull cycle and one bear cycle, till then you are fragile in the stock market. If you have not seen a bear market in your life, you are fragile. Remember this thing. If you have not seen the worst in the stock market, you are still fragile. You are very sensitive, to trauma and to losses.
The global financial crisis is the best example, which has happened in 2008 or so. So we all, in fact, understood what exactly is the bear market. So the next question to you, sir, from Mohammed. So we have understood now how to actually enter the market, but how to exit? What are the criteria to exit a stock?
So again, there is no fixed criteria of exiting the stock. So many people have asked me these questions on various platforms. So usually I reply them. See, there are two, although there are so many parameters, and different stocks have different, excuses or different to exit. I will discuss two parameters, which I have said quite often. One is when the focus of the management changes. Like suppose a company making a two-wheeler or a three-wheeler auto rickshaw or two-wheeler motorcycle, and suddenly they think that since just because they are generating a lot of cash, and now they want to diversify, and they diversify into manufacturing of tire, for example. So that is the time you should understand that both are different animal, although they go hand in hand. But having a different supply chain and vendor and suppliers management thing, and a two-wheeler motorcycle or three-wheeler has a different thing. It's a different animal. So that is the time that one should be cautious that unrelated diversification is happening in the company, or very excited or very expansion plan which is not beyond the means of the company. Company generating turnover, say cash flow of 100 crore every year, and a company announces a plan of 1,000 crore of investment. So there you should be cautious that this company is at risk.
Something is cooking.
Yeah, something is cooking. Yeah. So this is one thing you should realize. And second, when the stock price becomes so expensive that it becomes irresistible. Like suppose the peers and the leader P ratio is a very simple metrics in the stock market used since ages. Like suppose P ratio of the leader is say 25, and not the leader and the laggard in that same company where you have investment is quoting at a P of 25 or maybe 30 or 35. So that is the time that you should understand that son has become bigger than father. There is nothing bad into this. In this context, I am just saying, then you should also exit that the price is it's irresistible. Value.
So in other words, these are the red flags. What is it we can actually say?
Yeah, could be. That means market exuberance is taking, greed is taking over the stock. Yeah.
Okay. There is one more question from Rahul. He's asking that how do you judge the scalability of the business? Because we buy the stock, or before buying the stock, whether it is actually going to become a successful story or not. How is that you're going to predict in an early stage?
How would you predict?
In an early stage, this is actually going to be having a scalable sets of business or not?
No, for that you have to study the sector. What I have since I am invested and I don't invest on a regular basis, not on daily basis. So my only job is to keep a track of all my company's product and what is happening in the peers company, what is happening in the abroad, because nowadays as they say that all these countries have become a global village. Now we are more dependent on US, we are dependent on Europe and China, and some countries are dependent on us. So you have to keep a track on the product of the company. You get various reports. Nowadays, reports are free because for example, SIAM, Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, they keep on releasing their reports about what would be the growth of two-wheelers, what is the growth, like NASSCOM keep on releasing their data that what is going to happen in software industry, what is going to happen in cloud and all. They release their data. Now all these data across the world, they are available. You should study those data, especially where you are invested. From there, you will get an idea that what is the market size of this company and what is the growth in this company. So that fair idea you will have, then you should invest.
Okay.
And
so
where suppose if you don't get those data, you don't get those ideas, then don't invest. Find something else where you are more, comfortable in finding data.
Okay. So let's say, for example, if I want to invest for the next 10 years, stayed invested in the equity market, so which are the sector I'm supposed to be looking for?
You see, it is very difficult to say the sector now because market has run up a lot. So I'm not here to sell my story because of course I will tell you the sector where I am invested, but people may think that I am selling my story. And all those many stocks have gone up 4 times, 5 times, 6 times in last 1 year. So I would not go into that. In a rough idea,
So that is why we are asking you the sector, sir. We are not asking companies. We already know. We have a list of your portfolio of investments with us now.
Yeah, correct. I know. So like chemical is going to do well. But all these things are very fragile because whatever I'm talking today, Dr. Chetan, tomorrow things may change. Like people are very gung-ho, very bullish about pharmaceutical companies and all. But I have one fear. Maybe China, because we are gung-ho or we are become bullish in chemical companies and pharma companies, because of the competition from China is fading out. This is what we feel. But don't underestimate China. Tomorrow, China can destroy anything in the world. They are such a bigger powerhouse that they can destroy any story which is cooking today. So that is why you have to keep on. There is a code of mind. Invest like a bull, sit like a bear, and watch like an eagle. So watch like an eagle is very important. So I have invested in chemical. I am invested in many sector. Mainly one thing. If you ask me one sector, I will tell you. This is again I have told in the past also. I think the time for telecom product or software product, Indian software product company and telecom product company has come. This is what I feel. Because now for last 30 years, we had been prospering because of the service, internet, like software services and all. We did very well in software services. I now think there are very few product companies. So that is not a vast field. So similarly, you have to every day, you have to read newspapers, you have to read magazines, you have to collect data and all. And keep on upgrading yourself. Not necessarily the company which have done well in the past 1 year will also do well in next 1 year. That keeps on changing. Maybe I'm just saying maybe hypothetical. So
there is no sure shot sector which can actually shine in the next 10 years. That is what you're trying to say, or you are going to say that telecommunication is some one sector which you're actually eyeing upon?
I think telecom and telecom products should do well, a safe sector, and plus maybe now people are very bullish about metal and all because people think that metal has really changed the track. So metal stock may do well for next 2-3 years, maybe.
Okay, so there is one more question from Adarsh Naman. He's asking that what are the precautions one should focus while actually investing in Bhangar caps or micro caps? He's asking that question.
Whatever I have said, beyond whatever is left, that is what you should avoid. As I said, it's very simple. Like honest, hungry, and smart. If it is dishonest, doesn't have hunger, and is not smart in new management, you should avoid this. Those are a Bhangar cap for you. Yeah.
Sure, sir. So how to actually start? Supposing I'm new to stock market and if I want to invest, okay, so how I should actually go about the same? This is the question from Avirup Das.
What is the question, please?
So how to select a company if I'm a fresher to the stock market? So
you are a fresher. You are a fresher. Then,
sorry, go ahead.
No, if you are a fresher, then you should start your journey with mutual fund. Let me tell you. I will say that I will maybe I will try to recommend to the government that freshers should not be allowed to invest in the stock market the way they are not allowed to drive a car. you know, until unless you have certain qualification, you shouldn't allow. I think people should not allow, should be allowed to invest directly in stock market. It's my request to fresher, don't invest, you know, directly in stock market, at least for 2 years. Invest through mutual fund, observe the market, learn from it, do mock trading, do not trading in the sense, do mock investment, and see how things happen. Build your foundation strong. Just don't try to be, if you are starting today, then you're trying to become crorepati overnight. It does not happen. You know, there is a quote of mine: Rome was not built in a day, but Hiroshima and Nagasaki were destroyed in a day. You know, and the Hiroshima and Nagasaki destroyed in a day. That means this is what I mean. Like if you are a fresher and you just invest in the market and you will use money given by your parents or your whatever. So you will be your Hiroshima will be destroyed in one go. So don't be that adventurous. It's a business. It is not a game.
Yes, you are saying, sir, for the first instance, you started off for your career with trading, then you burnt your fingers and you felt that investing is actually good. So what made you to think so? Because we know that there are successful traders as well in the world. So why is it you shifted your focus from trading to investing?
Because you know the story of successful traders, and there are hardly few. If I will ask you, you won't be able to give me 10 names. But if you will search and find out the unsuccessful stories in traders who have lost
Millions.
their house, millions,
Yes.
yes, millions. They don't tell you, they don't reveal their names, they don't accept it. But those would be millions, millions, and many millions would be. So which path would you choose? That is up to you. You know, after all, as they said, there is only one. For example, there is only one Shah Rukh Khan. One Shah Rukh Khan came, stayed in the at the railway station, and became a hit and became a superstar. That does not mean that everybody who will run from the house and stay at the platform will also become a superstar. It does not happen. Unsuccess story is huge. And why did I change my track? As I said, just imagine, you know, I spent my good youth in just struggling, collecting money for Lactodex. Just imagine. And after even 10 or 12 years of struggle, if I could save say 30,000 rupees for myself, so that itself is a good enough reason for me to understand, you know, and to switch my track, that maybe I'm on a wrong track. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. There is one more question here from Nilanjan Datta. So suppose in a hypothetical situation, you need to start off your investment journey once over again, but you have only 20,000 rupees in your account. With all your experience in the market, how will you start off?
Of course, the idea is to smart whatever I have learned. Suppose if I have 20,000 rupees, but if my experience, whatever experience I have gained so far in the market, that will remain with me, right? So I will start with the same way from the current level. I will not start with trading. You know, I will start with whatever I am doing now. My thesis will be same.
Sure, sir. So there is a question from Ravi Bakar. I find your songs are very educating. Thanks for those enlightening. So why they are not being launched for quite some time? So we request you, sir, to just sing a song for all of us, an investing song. Please, sir, it's a request from the audience as well.
No, but my songs are in Hindi, Dr. Chetan.
Yeah, there are, except me, everybody else understands. And we, in fact, enjoy a lot.
I will recite the line. Okay, I will recite the line of that song. This is my first song, and the lyrics goes like this: that है market उसी का, मुनाफा उसी का, लेके भूल जाए शेयर अच्छी कंपनी का. And the paragraph is: मैनेजमेंट हो ऑनेस्ट, एम्बिशन ना कम हो, चैलेंजेस से खेलने का बाजुओं में दम हो, वरना वो बजा देगा बैंड कंपनी का, लेके भूल जाए शेयर अच्छी कंपनी का. Second paragraph is this.
Sir, but you are not singing, sir. We are so unhappy. We are actually not really. We are not expecting this, sir, from you. Please, sir. Please go ahead and sing, please.
Acha, okay. So last second paragraph, I will try to sing it. EPS है झूठी, कैश फ्लो है सच्चा, लोन जितना कम हो उतना ही अच्छा, ब्याज ही बजाना दे बैंड कंपनी का, लेके भूल जाए शेयर अच्छी कंपनी का, है मार्केट उसी का, मुनाफा उसी का, लेके भूल जाए शेयर अच्छी कंपनी का. This is the song.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for fulfilling our request. We are quite happy for
Thank
this.
you.
So, one question, sir, from Mr. Pandey. Sir, you are continuously increasing your stakes in Ramco Systems even after reporting a loss. The stock is still rose 13% on a bull run. So, can you share your reasons for choosing that particular stock?
So this is a stock specific question, but let me answer you as I had said in my earlier remarks that I am trying to find companies which are into software products, not into software services. I think the time for software products, Indian software products companies has come, for the simple matter because the Indian company can create a product. To create a product, it takes billions of dollars and 5 and 10 years of R&D, right? So some of the companies have spent given those 5 and 7 years into that R&D and created those products in hundreds of crores instead of billions of dollars, maybe in 500 crore or 1,000 of crores. So that is, and now they are competing with the who's and who of the world market in the same product companies of the US. So that is why I think the time for those companies has come. And that is why I have invested in Ramco. And one company may lose money because in product company, that is the problem. Like in like services company, there is no services companies have a fixed target that this much recruitment, this much thing, this much going they are to make. But product companies are dependent on the order books, which are always lumpy. Sometimes they have bigger fat order books. Sometimes they have lean order book. So that affects the quarter-on-quarter working of those companies. Any product companies, I'm not recommending Ramco Systems, any product company. So best way is to look at the on a yearly basis instead of quarterly basis. So this is what happens in a product company. But remember, product investment in product company is also risky. If the product is all right, then it may multiply. And if product doesn't, if product fails, then it can, wipe out your stock price also.
Yes. Thank you, sir. One more question from Tarun Gandhi. So what is the ideal number of stocks in a portfolio and why? Why you are saying that particular number?
Usually one should have 10-15 stocks, but for a newcomer, like if you are a fresher or you're a newcomer in the market, so you might not have that kind of confidence to hold 10 stocks. That means you can't invest 10% of your portfolio of your surplus in one company. That confidence comes with time. So one has to be practical. So initially you might have even 15 stocks also, but don't make a panka shop and having 100 shares and 50 shares. Then neither you are going to learn anything and nor you are going to be benefited. So it's an individual choice. You can have 15 shares also initially, 20 shares also initially. But ultimately, your idea is to learn from whatever 50-20 shares of portfolio you have made. Your ultimate idea is to learn about investing. And by you should have a consolidated portfolio, concentrated portfolio, we call it. And lesser number of stocks will give you more benefit.
Okay, all right, sir. So there's a question from Ishar Alam. So what kind of role do you play in Kedia Securities? How do you manage your business?
No, nothing. Kedia Securities, I don't offer any services, and nothing. Is just a company. I had opened this company, set up this company to apply membership for National Stock Exchange. So because that was also one of my ambition, because when I came to Bombay, I had said that in third attempt I came to Mumbai. In previous 2 attempts, I came and I stood out of a broker's office for 5 days, and he did not let me in to talk to me. I came here to become his assistant sub-broker, you call it, but it did not happen. So to take that revenge, I can tell you that I became member of National Stock Exchange and I set up this company. I took the membership, but finally I realized that broking is not in my blood. I cannot do broking and all. So I kept the company dormant maybe for 1 year or so, and after that I surrendered. So this is how this company was born.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there any idea like what Radhakrishnan Damani has done regarding this company called as
DMart.
DMart. So is there any entrepreneurial ideas do you have which you already have already taken place, or you're going to have such kinds of ideas to be get started off with?
No, I tried in the past. I wanted to become entrepreneur since I remember one thing. When I was in Kolkata, and as I said that I wanted to, I started supplying some spare parts in tea industry. So I opened a company and they kept the name of the company VK Industries, Vijay Kedia Industries. So people used to ask me, what do you mean by industry? You don't have any industry. I said I will have an industry one day. So I have opened the company. So this is what I had, that kind of thing, that I will be entrepreneur. But I tried 2-3 ventures, but I failed. So I thought maybe God doesn't want me to try any other, entrepreneurship. Better do whatever you understand a little bit, and you stay there only. So.
Okay, sir, we have one particular hand raising, Mr. Anil. So let us hear from him. What is the question he has got for you? Yes, Anil, can you please unmute yourself and speak to Dr. Kedia? Are you there, Anil? Hello? Okay. So I think, yes, he is unable to speak. There may be some technical issues maybe for that matter. So we'll take last 2 questions. Whomsoever
Yes,
raising
please.
that hand, I'm going to see here. I'm going to allow them. Yes. Any hands raising? Yes. Samir Roy. Yes. Samir, you are allowed to speak.
Sir, how do you figure out the right time to sell any stock? And my next question would be, is the current market in a bubble, as of your opinion on that?
No, I've given the answer for this, that when do you sell your shares? I think this is your first question. And second questions, I have also answered that we don't know whether there is bubble or not. But any given point of time, you should ready to see a 25% fall in your shares. And it is very difficult to judge a market whether it is in bubble or not, because so many people since last so many months feel that this market is in a bubble, but the market has proven them wrong. It may prove them wrong for another 2 months, 6 months, or 1 year, or 5 days, or 1 day. We don't know about it. So I don't know. Personally, I don't know. That is why you have to construct your portfolio in such a way that even if market falls down, you don't lose your sleep.
Yes, I hope, Samir, thank you. So now Shubh Taneja, yes, you can unmute and you can even start your video as well.
Yeah, I do not have an option for video right now, so I would just go by speaking.
Sure.
Sir, with the decreasing liquidity in the market right now, what according to you is the future for the upcoming IPOs?
You see, I don't think that we will get an answer to it. I think Indian retail investors are wakening up, and there is a huge demand for this IPO. I'm not a IPO person. I have not invested in, so far I remember, maybe 1 or 2 IPOs in my life. I'm not an IPO guy, and I will not invest in IPO. I will not buy all these shares which are listed at this valuation, irresistible valuation like Zomato and whatever stocks. It is not necessary to make money in every stock. Again, as I told you, that KYS is more important. Why do you want to make money in every stock which rises? Who told us? Nobody has told us. So leave something for others also, and you stay happy in whatever you can invest in and where you are comfortable with.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for being with us. Thank you very much. So I request Director Sir to speak a few words regarding the webinar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vijay, because
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You have very well explained your journey up to this point as to how you have grown and to this level of the maturity as an investor in the stock market. So I think you need not to read any book. You are a book in yourself. Let the young minds, the students, learn from your experience, and that will inspire them to become a good investor. And you have very well touched upon the 10 points, 10 mistakes that one should not do. But again, you have explained very well the 10 principles of the stock market that one should always bear, with the help of your very famous quote. And thank you very much singing that song, which really touched my heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, as a director of this institute, I look forward to your long-term association with MDIM, MDI Murshidabad, and the students
sir.
of it.
Yes, sir.
I
Of
hope
course.
that someday the young generation, the young minds will become one of the great investors from
Of course.
MDI Murshidabad, one
Of
of the
course,
great
sir.
investors of the country, and not only country, of the world. Who
Of
knows?
course. Why not? Yes.
So
Yes,
please
sir.
keep guiding us. Please keep guiding us. Please keep guidance.
Thank you.
This is what we look from.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Chair.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. So indeed, it's really a pleasure for all of us, sir, to have you here and listen to you so long, and you answered each and every questions of us. We are very much grateful to you, Kedia sir, for this. So with the kind permission of director, sir, shall I proceed with the vote of thanks, sir?
Yeah, please.
Thank you. I thank Dr. Kedia for accepting our invite and grace the occasion with this talk. I thank Professor Dr. Atmanand, the Director MDI Murshidabad, for attending the webinar and encouraging all of us to take up very new initiatives as such. I thank Professor Biranjan Narayaneshwar, Dean Continuing Education, for attending the webinar. I thank all the professors and non-teaching staff of MDI Murshidabad, and also my dear students for attending the webinar with utmost zeal and passion, and so much of questions you actually posed to Dr. Kedia. So finally, I sincerely appreciate and thank Mr. Sayantan Sinha, Mr. Joydeep Mukherjee, and Mr. Avirup Das for being in the background and assisting in all the aspects. Thank you so much, Kedia sir. And whenever you are there, when this particular pandemic subsides and you are there in Kolkata, because we understand you are from Kolkata, your origin, your roots are actually there in West Bengal. And incidentally, this institute also located in West Bengal. So if you could meet us in person and if you could grace us, definitely it is actually going to be wonderful for all of us. And definitely we can actually see some gems which are actually going to be getting polished, which are actually hand polished by you maybe, and because of which they might become the gems of the stock markets in the days to come. So this is our sincere request from our end. So hope you will fulfill this.
I will do so.
Yeah.
I will do so. Yeah, certainly.
Yes,
Thank
but
you.
because of this pandemic, sir, everybody else are actually located in different, means their respective hometowns now. So because of which this is not the possibility as of now, and because of which we are actually, we are grateful since you also accepted to come online and actually teach us what with your knowledge. We are quite grateful for that. Okay, so we will be looking forward for you, your physical presence, face-to-face interaction with the students right at MDI Murshidabad whenever this particular pandemic goes such. Thank you so much once again, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you
Shekhar.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Should I disconnect now? No?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are actually signing off now.